channel.
Hey, you know what time it is, No Press fam? Welcome everyone to another episode of The Beatdown, the segment and channel where two worlds collide. I am your host, Class. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy our content, you know what you guys can do. You can share, you can like, or you can subscribe to our channel. When you guys subscribe to our channel, you know what you do. You guys are building our empire and allowing us to provide you guys with even much more greater content for you guys to enjoy. And on today's episode, we are continuing on our 3rd year anniversary here at the No Pressure channel, celebrating it, and we figured, hey, why not bring you some two interesting characters that are not too shy when it comes to facing gods and using their magics to get the upper hand. I'll be representing first DC Comics, Circe. Alright, so let's get into the brief origin story of Circe, shall we? Alright, here's the brief origin story. She lived in an island called Iai. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, guys. Circe became proficient in magic. She would at times turn men into animals they resembled for fun. Hippolyta, the queen of the island, wasn't pleased with Circe's sorcery and decided to banish her to the space island called Circe. Circe escapes at some point and learns Hippolyta had a daughter who, if she were to live, would be her downfall. So Circe decides to make it her mission to eliminate her before that could ever happen. That woman would be the Amazonian princess we call Wonder Woman. And that is the brief origin story of Circe. Alright, now let's get into the powers, abilities, and feats, shall we? Or BAF for short. According to Ivan the Unstoppable on YouTube, she can heal quickly, throw down with Wonder Woman herself, cast a cosmos-spanning enchantment that would mask all traces of the Titans' Olympians conflict. She can seal someone's mouth for eternity, animate statues, jump through a mirror, create a force field around a city-sized building. If you're shifting into an animal or such, she can reveal your true nature. She has energy projection that can come out of her fist and eyes. Make herself strong enough to battle with Wonder Woman. There are artifacts that can hurt Black Adam. Some of her artifacts that can hurt Black Adam. Sorry, that was a tongue twister. Her blast can knock out Wonder Woman, teleport Hercules out of thin air. She can rock Dr. Fate and Captain Atom. Took down the god Hermes. Destroyed Geoforce's kingdom. Just using her thought, she can turn you into ashes. Held her own against both Wonder Woman and Hippolyta. Take the powers of and capture Wonder Woman, Wonder Girl, and Donna Troy. Made a spell that would make her believe she was someone else so that she can get closer to Wonder Woman's inner circle, only for the spell to work too well to the point where she actually starts saving Wonder Woman instead of doing the other thing she was going for. A spell that tore through the fabric of time and space to move the land of the mascara and Wonder Woman's home, so we're clear, to another mystical dimension. She can even bring it back. So she teleported an entire civilization to another dimension and then has the ability to bring it back when she chooses. That's crazy. She can bring Medusa's head back to life. That's pretty impressive. She can disappear into dust or gas as shown during a fight with Wonder Woman and another with the god of war, Ares. Turn male superheroes into beasts. She can even turn Superman into a doomsday hybrid of some sort. Turn off the eternal flame. She's powered by immeasurable magic, influenced the world of men from afar. Yeah, so those are her BAFs. Alright, so let's get into the end game, how Circe would defeat Hela. So here are some options. For starters, we can make the argument that Circe might be able to turn Hela into an animal since she has been mastering that since the very beginning. That's pretty much her first go-to move. That was the thing she crafted first before she tried anything else. I'm guessing, so my educated guess is that maybe Circe might be able to master it enough to power and turn Hela into some kind of beast or something that she wants to, maybe a little furry animal if she wanted to, and Hela might not be able to turn back. Another thing is that one of Circe's artifacts was able to harm Black Adam, so I do believe an artifact could affect also Hela. It could also do some kind of damage to Hela. Maybe one of those artifacts could do some damage. One of those, and Circe can summon it at will. Now, why would I say that? Because, well, Black Adam has the power of, or has the power, I believe, and also several gods within himself. So, being able to hurt someone with that many gods in him and have an artificial or an artifact affect him that well, it's got to say that maybe Circe might be able to use something in her arsenal that might be able to do some damage to Hela herself. Another thing is, yes, Hela might be able to bring the dead back and use it to her advantage, but so can Circe. Not only that, Circe can do more. She can turn humans into beasts. She can turn statues into living objects, creatures that attack for her at will. I mean, she has so many things going for her. She can turn a chair back. I believe she could turn a chair into something back into life. I'm not sure. But if there's all these options, I mean, if she takes the battlefield to Earth, she has way more varieties than I want to say Hela will have. Hela might be able to bring back the dead, but again, Circe can bring objects to life, humans into animals, and bring back the dead. So she's got 3 in her favor to go against someone like Hela. And Hela might be strong, but an overwhelming amount of different things coming at you might overwhelm you to a point. It might take you down, or Circe might be able to get the element of surprise and get the jump on her. Okay, another couple things. Circe plays dirty, so let's say, I'll get to that in a minute, but let's say she brings Medusa's head. She brought it back to life before, so she could use it to probably put Hela down. If Hela stares at the Medusa's head with a surprise attack, that's it, game over, and well, Hela might turn into stone. Hela's strong, but I believe certain magical forces are going to overwhelm her, because I mean, certain gods have defeated her before, so yes, a magical god like Circe might be able to. I'm not saying she's a god, but her magic is able to power levels of gods. So I do believe that it could put Hela down using Medusa's godly statue eye power ability to put her into a statue state. And here's another thing. She could leverage her home. What do I mean by that? Well, Circe could take Hela's world, dimension, and put it somewhere else, probably. Put her home, like wherever she lives and has her throne, make it disappear and put it in a secret mystical dimension. She did that before with Wonder Woman's world or home planet or her homeland, so she could do the same thing to Hela and then hold it as leverage and tell her, look, I ain't gonna let you win this one, so here's the game. You're gonna bow to me and I'll give you back your land. And there might be a possibility that Hela might bow, because I mean, she does kind of feed on her home world, and at the same time, I mean, she might care that much, and that's probably the only thing she's ever really cared about, or really does care about. So there's that option. Now, the last and final point I'll make on Circe's behalf is, let's say wildcard wise, this gets real, and it's overwhelmingly a lot of pressure being put on Circe's fighting Hela. Hela's just finally getting to her and she's freaking her out. Here's the last desperado moment you can do. She could go to one of those fun little circus places that has fun-sized mirrors, or create mirrors, and you know, while Hela is fighting her in this, like in a situation, she could run into that fun-sized mirror place and then jump into a mirror, because she can't do that. I don't know if Hela can chase after her if Circe closes the portal, but if she jumps into that mirror, she might be able to jump out of another mirror and get the surprise attack. Now, surprise attack being is that all she needs, here's what I read. I'm not sure if this is 100% like guaranteed, but from what I read, Hela has a certain coat that gives her some kind of top level power. It gives her that power and to be able to be in 2 worlds. So if Circe decided to take that coat off or manage to magically remove it from Hela, that would put Hela in a very difficult situation. She might not disappear, but she might also be in a weakened state, because some of the power, most of her power comes from that coat. So in an argument's sake, if Circe gets that coat off of her and puts it on herself, or takes it off in general and just leaves Hela open state, there's a chance, or like a open wound or an open weakened state, there's a chance that I want to say Circe might be able to take the opening while she can and then beat her with her own bare fist. Considering that Circe has beaten Wonder Woman before, she could take down Hela in a weakened state, considering she's not in her full level, and win the victory on that end and get that W. And I'll be representing on this end Marvel Comics' own Hela. Alright, so let's get into the brief origin story of Hela, shall we? Hela wanted to defeat Odin, and knew if she could take Thor's soul, it would leave Odin at a weakened state, giving her the opening she needs to take out the father as well, meaning Odin. Once Odin is gone, she could claim the lives of as many people as she wanted to without having to wait. To make certain that wouldn't happen, Thor went to Earth as his human counterpart, Donald Blake, to make sure she wouldn't find him. Realizing he couldn't stand by and let everyone else on his behalf fight for him, he decided to take matters into his own hands. He transforms into Thor and immediately gets spotted by Hela, who comes for his soul. Odin tried to keep her away, but eventually would escape his grips. The two battle out, and Hela eventually beats Thor and is about to take his soul when Sif would arrive to plead for her. On his behalf. She begs Hela to take her instead of Thor, and Hela was so moved by the gesture that she decided to spare the two, as she knew what it was like to be completely alone in the world. And that's a brief origin story of Hela. Now, to keep to mind, the original one before that one, it was the other way around, so we're clear. I know people are going to be like, wait, wasn't it? Yes. There were two different versions. In one version, Thor is about to sacrifice himself for Sif, and on this version, it's Sif who sacrifices for Thor. So I decided to go with the second one instead of the first one, just so we're clear. Now, Beth. Let's get into it. Now, according to Ivan the Unstoppable on YouTube, her forces can defeat Valkyrie, pierce Gladiator. Yeah, Gladiator can rip black holes. Yeah. She can fight in raw power the might of Thor, held Valkyrie by the throat. The original Valkyrie, like the head Valkyrie, she held her by the throat. Catch the spear of Proxima, Midnight, and then provide a butt whooping after that. Taking hits from Thor's hammer, knocked out Thor. With her power, disarmed Thor from his hammer. Yeah, counteracted Doctor Strange's spells. Took Odin's soul and used it to create, this is the most impressive one. Took Odin's soul and used it to create cosmic level threat called Infinity. Split her soul into multiple dead bodies. Dampen walls of flame from Mephisto. Mephisto's very powerful. Block attacks from the curse. Alright, so let's get into the endgame. How Hela would beat Circe. Now, you might think, now if you read the comics, it's pretty impressive. These two have fought gods, Thor and Wonder Woman. And both are magical in their own right, so they both know how to really tamper with certain things when they need to. So yeah, Hela can hold her own, but I do believe maybe Hela has much more durability, much more stronger than Circe's. I do believe that because her way of handling things when it comes to getting blows from Thor's hammer and stuff does say a lot. She's taken a lot more devastating hits in the comics compared to Circe. Circe's kind of usually avoids by becoming into dust or gas or something like that, dodges jumping into a mirror from Wonder Woman. But when it comes to Hela, Hela actually takes the punches and then throws it right back. So there is an argument to be said that Hela, when it comes to going fist to fist, might be able to deliver the devastating blow to take down Circe's in mano a mano. So she obviously, Circe would avoid that, but Hela might be able to keep her close enough to get that done. Now, another thing in the comics, Hela is actually bigger than she is normally. Like, she's not like an average height. She's actually like pretty giant. So she's giant level because she comes from giant people. So I do believe you could make the argument that her size is already in itself going to be too much for Circe's to take on. She could take on someone at equal level size, but if someone's bigger than you and you have to fight someone who can fight Thor and is bigger, yeah, I don't know. I think she might squish her like a bug at some point in the fight. There's that argument to be said if Hela does come like in her giant size form. Other points I will make, and they're probably going to be the strongest points, because Hela and Circe's magic-wise kind of equal. Gladiator, when it comes to fighting each other, strength-wise, Amazonian and God of Thunder, they're equally matched in that realm. But the only difference is that Hela has actual weapon that might be able to do the damage and get the job done, which happens to be her Night Sword. If her Night Sword comes around Circe's, it might be able to end Circe's. It's put down a lot of pretty particularly interesting characters like, I don't know, Gladiator, pierced into Gladiator's chest, took out Thor at one point, and actually could pierce Annihilus' armor, which is supposed to be impossible to pierce. So Hela could use that Night Sword to really take Circe's down for the count in that way. Now the last point I'll make, and this one's always going to be an interesting one, you could just put that into the pocket or wild card, Odin turning into the Infinity. If she was able to take Odin's soul and make him into an Infinity thing that was a cosmic level threat for the entire universe, she could use that as like her backup muscle against Circe's. If she brings Odin's soul into Infinity mode and she goes and battles it out with Circe, there is no way Circe is going to be able to handle someone of a cosmic level threat and Hela at the same time. Fighting a warrior and a cosmic level threat at the same time, holding your own, it's going to be impossible. At some point, it's going to overwhelm her. It's going to take her down. Hela is a warrior and eventually is going to put down Circe for the count and then claim the W once more. But as always, No Purse fam, it's not up to me. It's up to you guys. So if you guys liked either one of my arguments, you know what you can do? You can hashtag Circe's or you can hashtag Hela. And as always, we really appreciate you, No Purse fam, keeping it 300 subs. Peace.